Welcome to the Weekly Torah Power-up in less than 10 minutes, based on the wisdom and teachings of the Rebbe, brought to you by Chabad of Nebraska. There is a beautiful custom that after the Shabbat is over, when the Havdalah ceremony is completed, we recite a prayer. And the prayer is really more of a blessing. And part of the custom is to actually say it together with somebody else, as if to say that I am blessing you with everything that is recited in this blessing, and the other person is in turn blessing you. And we are blessing each other, and you're meant to do it in groups of 2 or more. Obviously, if you don't have another person to say it with, that's fine as well, and you still say the blessing because, again, it is God who is giving us the blessing. And the blessing speaks about all things physical, wonderful things of physical nature that should be bestowed upon us as Jews. And it's a blessing, interestingly enough, that has a very, very strange backstory. The blessing is called V'yitin Lecha, and may God give to you from the dew of the heavens, etc., and speaks about how wonderful your life should be, our lives should be. And the blessing was given by Yitzchak, Isaac, to his son Jacob. And the story is quite interesting because Yitzchak had twin sons, actually, Jacob and Esav, Yaakov and Esav. And really, Esav was the firstborn. He was the first one to be born from Rivka, their mother. And he was technically the firstborn who was meant to get the blessings. Through a whole story and interesting events that happened, the firstborn was actually sold over to Yaakov, and Yaakov was now holding actually a document that said that he was considered the firstborn. And when it came time for the blessings, Yaakov and Esav's mother, Rivka, who actually understood that Yaakov was the righteous one, the one who would be the father of the Jewish people, as we are called, B'nai Yisrael. His name was later on changed to Yisrael. We are the children of Jacob. Rivka understood this and understood that her son Esav, being her son, understood, even though he was her son, was actually leaning towards the side of evil, of idolatry and adultery. He was not someone correct for receiving the blessings. He was not the correct person to be the father of the Jewish people, the father of the chosen people. Rivka understood this. However, Yaakov's father, Rivka's husband, Yitzchak, was actually blind, and blinded as well by her son Esav, and thought that he was righteous, and wanted to give the blessings to Esav. And Yaakov, with his mother's help, and actually with his mother's encouragement, went ahead and stole, quote unquote, took away the blessings and tricked his father into giving him the blessings, which is a very strange story, a powerful blessing that we recite and we give each other. We give our fellow Jews every Saturday night, every Matzot Shabbat. We give it to each other, and we wish each other these very powerful blessings, and yet it came about in such a strange manner, such a steely manner, we'll say. It was a theft, so to speak. And the interesting reason why that had to be is because these blessings, which are very, very physical and mundane in a way, must be given, must be procured by the Jewish people, who are really much more spiritual, in a above nature way, in an above intellect way. Now, things can be done without intellect in an below intellect way, which are usually things that are done with silliness and etc. But then sometimes we can tap into something which is way above that, above intellect, which we believe in our regular day-to-day lives. Intellect is the most powerful thing, but really we could tap into something higher and stronger than that. And Yaakov, if we look at the contrast, the Torah tells us the contrast of Yaakov and Esav. Esav was a hunter. He would go out and be in the fields, and he was working the land. He was out in nature. Yaakov, on the other hand, was a studious person. He sat in his house all day and studied Torah. And he was able to tap into that wealth of knowledge of Torah and overcome Esav in an above intellect kind of way, and trick the brachas away from him, the blessings away from him, and receive them himself. And then give us, the Jewish people, this blessing for future times, that we are able to now attain and absorb and grasp all which is wonderful physically, and which could only be done by tapping into the power of the Torah, which can be intellect, but also something even stronger than intellect, which is actually a very powerful lesson, something that we should think about, that when you tap into the power of the Torah, we're really gaining something much more powerful than can ever be imagined. And sure, it sharpens your intellect and it makes you smarter. That's why Jews are known. One of the reasons why, stereotypically, and I'm sorry for being politically incorrect here, Jews are known to be studious and smart and overachievers, so to speak. However, we're also given this God-given ability that is imbued in the Torah that allows us to actually supersede intellect, something stronger than intellect, something stronger than our minds that we can tap into. If you have any questions on this week's Torah Power-Up or any Torah Power-Up or any other questions at all, leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, or even if you didn't, please like the video and on the YouTube channel and share it with your friends. Share the channel, like the channel. That way you get notified of every Torah Power-Up, and have a great week. We will please God see you next time. Shabbat Shalom.